Hey team, hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. We got an analysis coming up on EUR.USD. Let's get into it. Starting on the monthly, as usual, what do? We identify area sensitivity. So here's our upper monthly, our lower monthly zones, and our higher time frame downtrend as we identified lower highs. All right, so after adding area sensitivity, what do? That's right, we start to talk about flow, make sense of the time frame. Sellers had control off our higher time frame downtrend, strong push to the downside. Buyers entered the market at our next area of buy sensitivity, which was our monthly lower zone. We have a push to the downside, then what? That's right, an exhaustion to the upside, which means that we have likely a continuational push to the downside, which we're seeing right now on the higher time frame. All right, we relatively spoke about flow, but there's still some more information I can take from the monthly time frame, so stick with me here, okay? So at completion of exhaustion, we know that there was a lot of sell pressure entering the market, and why? Well, we know that price was reaching its higher time frame monthly zone. We know that price was also coming in contact with its higher time frame downtrend. There was an abundance of sell orders at this completion of exhaustion. Price then made a strong push to the downside, but what I noticed is price failed to complete exhaustion, and only now we're seeing buyers enter the market. So as we take it down time frames, potentially we're going to see a higher time frame exhaustion. All right, taking it to the weekly, we identified our weekly mid-range zone by looking for horizontal sell and buy sensitivity. So now it's time to talk flow. The first thing I noticed right away is that price is trading under this weekly mid-range zone, meaning that sellers managed to have enough pressure to break this weekly zone to the downside. All right, still on the weekly, I just want to summarize what's going on here, okay? Price made a strong push to the downside. Now, this is its next area of buy sensitivity. We failed to see an exhaustion. Instead, sellers kept the pressure on the buyers and broke beneath this weekly mid-range zone to the downside. But what we're seeing now is a lot of buy pressure. Now, this is stronger than usual buy pressure with continuous bullish engulfing candles, meaning that there is a potential that buyers will push price back above this weekly mid-range zone. And if that's the case, well, this is a higher time frame stop hunt for price's higher time frame exhaustion to retest what was its downtrend. All right, taking it down to the daily, we identified our daily mid-range zone and our weekly mid-range zone. Now, I quite like this trade because if price happens to break its weekly mid-range zone to the upside, it's really a high probability long. So here we see price break this downtrend to the upside. Are we going to enter long now? No, we do not enter long now. That's what amateur traders would do. That's what new traders would do. We know that this is price's next area of sell sensitivity, this weekly mid-range zone. So the safe play would be to let price break this weekly mid-range zone to the upside, wait for exhaustion and price action confirmation. So what we're looking for is very simple. If price manages to re-break this weekly mid-range zone to the upside, we have a high probability long for double confirmation before then a continuational push to the downside. So in summary, this is entry one. We stay patient. We let price play beneath this weekly zone as long as it wants. Once price breaks to the upside, that's considered a push. Now what's after a push to the upside? That's right, an exhaustion to the downside. Then we look for price action confirmation to the upside. This would be a bullish engulfing candle close, preferably. Okay, so there's three scenarios that would make this trade invalid. If price fails to break this weekly mid-range zone to the upside, we know that there's just too much sell pressure and this trade becomes invalid. Secondly, price may break this weekly zone to the upside but fail to come back for exhaustion. So if price makes a strong push and break to the upside without an exhaustion, this trade becomes invalid because risk reward is no longer optimal. Now lastly, what would make this trade invalid is, all right, so that's it for EUR.USD. On to the next one.